$200 benefit increase plus a $1,400 fourth stimulus check specifically focused on Social Security, including retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, RRB, low-income, no-income, seniors, older adults, and of course, people with disabilities. I have all the details and exactly what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. I know in this video, I do want to discuss the details of two hot-button issues, including a $200 per month raise for about 70 million fixed income beneficiaries and those individuals I mentioned at the beginning of the video, as represented by the Social Security Expansion Act. I also do want to talk about a highly focused $1,400 fourth stimulus check, again, specifically focused on the fixed income beneficiaries I mentioned at the beginning of this video. Now, we've been receiving a number of questions down below in the comment section on both of these topics, and that's what I want to highlight here in the video, including show us the money. Where is it, especially right now, as many people really need it? Therefore, let's get into it and talk through all the details. Really fast before we do, thanks so much for joining me. I truly do appreciate your support. If you have not done so yet, make sure to hit that big old button right down below the video, subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned with what is actually going on, as things are changing very rapidly right now. A lot of things are coming out, new announcements, and things are changing in a big way. It's been very confusing, and a lot of things have been changing over the last few years, and realistically over the next couple years, it's going to be very weird out there, which is why I'm here for you every single day, no matter what, to help you out by keeping you updated and, of course, advocating on your behalf. So again, please subscribe down below. Totally free to do so. Always has been and always will be, and I'll be here for you right by your side every single day, no matter what, to help you out as much as I can. All right, thanks again. Let's get into it and talk about these two hot button issues, the questions, the concerns, the comments I've been seeing down below in the comment section from those of you here in the community, and basically all the details you need to know about this, because some people are treating this as somewhat of a buffet, right? Let me give you the quick analogy that I'm talking about here. It's either one or the other. You get a $200 per month raise or you get the $1,400. What would you like to choose? It's not really like that. Let me break the details down for this a little bit further, because there's a lot of misleading or miscommunication out there, and that's what I want to break down for you here. So here's what it comes down to. These two things are totally different, okay? When it comes down to a $200 per month increase for beneficiaries, this is completely different, as in 100% separate from a $1,400 fourth stimulus check. In fact, if Congress came together on both of these, whether it was at the same time or sometime close to each other, they could easily get both of these done, and fixed income beneficiaries could get both of these simultaneously. Let me explain really quickly, okay? That's what I wanted to say a minute ago, which was a lot of people are approaching this like, well, it's one or the other. What would I rather have? Do I want the $200 per month, or would I rather have a lump sum? Well, how do I want to approach this? You don't have to think of it that way, because it is not like that whatsoever, okay? Now, I want to make this very clear before we get into this any further here, which is, obviously, the Social Security Expansion Act has not passed in Congress yet. A $1,400 fourth stimulus check has also not passed in Congress yet. However, these are things we certainly need to watch, because these are still on the table very much right now, especially the Social Security Expansion Act. That is still out there, and a huge thing that Bernie Sanders really wants to get done. He talks about it every so often. He's had private meetings with the president about this before as well. And when it comes down to a stimulus check, well, the economy, let me ask you, based on my recent videos, if you've been watching them, hopefully you have been, do you think the economy is in a good place right now? I can tell you this much, it's not, and it's going to get worse, okay? We can talk about that more here in just a minute, or even in a separate video. But let's quickly talk about the details of these really fast here. So again, the $200 per month raise represented by the Social Security Expansion Act. Now, that is the most recent piece of legislation that is out there that would actually implement a $200 per month raise for millions of beneficiaries for about 75 years. So essentially out until the end of the decade or thereabout, right? So again, this would go out to millions of beneficiaries, and basically what this would do, it would raise benefits by $200 per month, or about $2,400 a year per beneficiary. That's it. Pretty simple, pretty basic stuff here. That's basically what they want to do. Now you might be wondering, okay, sounds great, but they claim that they don't have any money. What would this, where would this money come from, and how would they get it? Well, part of the other plan is by raising taxes on higher income individuals. So basically, they would take that money from higher income people paying into Social Security payroll taxes, and then essentially just funnel that right through to the beneficiaries and raise their benefits by $200 a month. So that is what that comes down to, okay? Very simple, Plain and simple, clear cut, right there. That's the plan, okay? That's what they want to do with this. And like I said, this has not passed through Congress yet, but it is a real thing out there, and this is a piece of legislation that Bernie Sanders is very passionate about, and he's talked to the president about it multiple times. All right, so that's number one. Now next, let's take a minute here and talk about a $1,400 stimulus check. Now obviously, like I said as well, this is also something that has not passed through Congress yet, but this is something we got to watch continuously very closely because I've mentioned this before in other videos. We can sit here, we can ask, we can beg, we can plead, we can do whatever we want to ask Congress for additional checks and money, but they don't care about that. It's not about us asking, it's not about the letters, it's not about the emails, it's not about the phone calls, it's about the economy. That is what it's all about. Well, recently, the economy has been a little bit on shaky ground here, okay? We've been seeing it with some of the economic reports coming out, and we've been seeing a lot of things happening here as of recently. A lot of drama is stirring up out there. We're starting to see the cracks. We've been seeing them for a while, but the cracks are getting wider and wider, okay? It's only a matter of time until some things start slipping through the cracks, and all of a sudden, there we go down in a ball of flames like what we've seen before in other times in the history of this country. And realistically, we've seen it multiple times in the last, call it 20 years. In fact, most recently, in late 2022, we saw some things happen then. In 2020, early 2020, yeah, it was pretty bad then, right? 2008, 2009, major recession then. 2000, 2001, major recession then as well. And this thing is basically happening right before our eyes, okay? So we're seeing this happen. A lot of it predicated by the major increases in the interest rate by the Federal Reserve over the last year and a half or so as they've been aggressively raising interest rates to hopefully bring down inflation, and that's a whole nother topic in and of itself, okay? So now that we're talking about this, let's bring this thing full circle and talk about the details here and answer some of the questions and concerns I've seen down below in the comment section, which is, can we get both of these at the same time? Simple answer is, yes, absolutely, 100% you could get both of these at the same time. If Congress were to come together and do these, whether at the same time or sometime, close to each other, yes, because they are completely separate. Let me explain the details a little bit further here. A $200 per month raise would come out of the Social Security Trust Fund, paid in and funded by the Social Security payroll taxes on earnings for those individuals that are out there working, having that type of income, okay? That is where that money would come from, out of Social Security, okay? That is one thing. Now, $1,400 stimulus check. This would come from basically just an appropriation out of Congress and basically an allocation of money that they would appropriate and say, okay, here's a package worth, however many hundreds of billions or whatever, $1 trillion or whatever they would do, and it would be in there as well. So that would come out of general federal money, right? Okay, so the federal government has general funds, things like this. It would basically come out of wherever they would appropriate it out. It would not come out of Social Security, if that kind of makes sense, right? So when it comes down to it, these are two totally different things. They do not influence each other. They do not impact each other whatsoever. And yes, they could absolutely be done at the same time. And fixed income beneficiaries, could you imagine if this happened at the same time or very close to each other? That'd be awesome, right? That'd be pretty cool. I mean, just think of that. If all of a sudden the Social Security Expansion Act, where a $200 per month raise was passed all of a sudden, and then a $1,400 check or check of some kind around that same time was also passed, how cool would that be, right? The money would be rolling in, and fixed income beneficiaries would finally be maybe ahead of the game a little bit for at least a little while, right? That'd be pretty awesome. I mean, let's be real. The last couple years here have been very rough for fixed income beneficiaries, and many people need more money, right? We've talked about all the reports. We've seen the statistics. We've seen all the reports coming out showing fixed income beneficiaries are not doing all that great right now when it comes down to finances because of our favorite friend over the last couple of years, inflation, right? All because of that, basically taking all the money out of your accounts, plus some. A lot of people have had to cut back substantially, getting less food, downsizing to a smaller place, selling off personal belongings. It's been a sad situation here. Last couple of years have been brutal for the low income and fixed income beneficiaries. So this would be a welcome surprise. This would be a great thing. And we just need some action out of Congress at this point, right? So anyway, hope that helps to answer the questions there. I've seen these popping up in a variety of different ways. Now, obviously, I've seen the questions phrased in a variety of ways, but essentially it's all asking kind of the same thing. Can we get this? Is it passed? Can we get both at the same time? When are they going to do it? How much is it going to be? Who's going to be included? What's going to be the total dollar amount? How much can I get? Can I get it? Can my spouse get it? Can we both get it? All kinds of stuff like this. I've seen all kinds of questions in a variety of ways. Anyway, hope that helps to answer it. Again, if you want me to come back and elaborate, let me know down below in the comment section. Leave a comment, questions, feedback, or whatever you want down below. I always appreciate it. Otherwise, subscribe to the channel. Totally free to do so. There's that big old button right down below the video. Make sure to subscribe as well. Share this video with your friends, family, social media, and go back and check out any of the other 4,000 videos here on the channel. A lot of videos out there. Anyway, I'm here for you any way that I possibly can be. I will keep you informed. There's a lot of things going on right now. Enjoy your day. Take care, and catch you again later in the next video.